Okay. All right. So if you go to the Productivity Hub, which is the Productivity Hub here on the right side of the screen, okay, it's going to bring you to this page, okay. And if you go all the way down to the bottom left, you're going to find unique property sites, which I know a lot of you guys use. What I've been told by the MLSs is that these are automatically set up virtual tours based on the photos that you've put into the into Century 21. So let me see if I can click on this and show you what we have. Search. Okay, so you would click on, I believe you can click on your listings, okay? But we're gonna click on, I'm clicking on the company's listings right now to give you an idea of what we have there. So let's go on to, we'll see. I'm gonna do this live. So basically, here is a video that Brian Samia has under his ID, and it will have a direct link on right here, and it's gonna have a download, okay? It also has a YouTube link and an embed code. So if you go on here and you see, this is a video that's automatically generated and voiced over, okay? So that you guys have all this and you don't have to go crazy. Now it's not the, can you hear the sound?
And 1/2 bathroom.
So you can hear all that. So basically,
This property,
whatever you're putting into MLS is automatically pulling into Century 21 through our link, through Account Tech. And what you're basically getting is a solution where I know a lot of the MLSs are saying if you have a listing and you can't show it, you can throw up virtuals. And if you put up a virtual, that'll save you the time on your MLS to make it available for showings. But these are all available to you, and these are all included in what we offer. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to go in there and you can make edits. You can and check your photos, because the better the quality of the photo, like here's one by Bonnie up in Londonderry, the better the quality of the photo, the better the video. So this is another one here. But every single listing that we get has a video online on 21 Online. Now, we're going to try and get these videos embedded into our YouTube channel so that they'll all be on there and we'll be able to market these properties. Is anyone using these right now? I'll throw on the stop share for a minute. Is anyone using these right now? Want to share? Rob, do you want to share what you've got for people using these?
Yeah, so we've included in a lot of our trainings. I know we've thrown those out there for a while. I mean, they work great. I know a lot of agents do reach out to us, you know, as soon as they, because it takes about 24 to 48 hours to generate those. Once it hits MLS, it goes through all the systems. And then we usually have people within sometimes 45 minutes asking where the unique site is. So we do get a good usage on those right now, and I highly recommend them. I mean, the videos are awesome. They're also a great social media post as well for anybody. If you're looking for some social media content, there's links in there that are branded. You can simply take the link and paste it into social media, and it's a great social media link as well.
Yeah, so I mean, this is something, when I saw this last night and I really dug into it, I said, geez, this is a great opportunity for you guys, where we talk about lately the virtual showings and how to do, you know, people are doing Facebook Live videos and things like that. This is a great opportunity for us to leverage the brand and the tools that we already have instead of worrying about what we don't have. I've had some people reaching out about 360-degree cameras and Matterport cameras and virtual tour software. This does everything that we were doing before under the virtual tours. So really what it comes down to is the way you position the listing in MLS will power the rest of the sources. So it gives you an excellent source of everything that you need, especially during this time, during the COVID-19 crisis. One of the challenges we have is sellers wanting to sell their property because they don't want people in and out. Well, this is a great way to show them some of the videos, get them to buy into the concept of virtual showings, and really limit the exposure to them as far as like people coming in and out of the house. Because I think the big fear, or at least what I'm hearing, is people don't want to have 20 people coming through their house touching stuff. Well, this is a great way to at least position the house where I talked to someone the other day, a relative that was like, geez, I really wish I sold my house before this happened. Now I don't know if I can sell it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you can sell it. You just have to be a little bit more patient, because what we do today might not be able to close as fast as we did 6 months ago. Things are taking a little bit longer. Not all the time, but sometimes going to take a little bit longer. Deals may fall through at a higher clip than they were before because of financing, because of appraisal, because of home inspection. But these are the types of things this is where we earn our money. This is where our skill actually gets used. It's like when we're seeing the ball and everything's just, it's really easy to hit a home run for a while. You kind of forget the basics. And so this is most of our guys here at Century 21, our team, all of you guys really have your skills down pat. But if you're feeling a little rusty, just go back to where you were when you started. Go back to, geez, how did I even get rolling? How did I get my business started? Because that's exactly the type of mentality you have to have now. It's the same mentality as what you had to have to become the success that you've become. It's the same thing. So today there's a meeting, there's an agent meeting. I think it's a meeting with Brian Buffini at 3:00. Mike Needler is interviewing Brian Buffini. Single-handedly, Brian Buffini, and listen, there's tons of great trainers out there, but single-handedly, Brian Buffini has a system that is so easy to use and so easy to succeed with. It's really like, I remember when I did Brian Buffini, the reason why I did Brian Buffini is because there was an agent that was successful in the industry and had the personality of a mop. Okay. So, and I said, geez, how is she so successful? She's mean. She doesn't, she's not nice. She doesn't look nice. And it was Buffini. She did everything Buffini. So when the recession hit and I was like, geez, we didn't have as many agents working and we had to do something to keep the lights on. I said, well, I'll go back and sell. And I didn't know where to start because I had lost all my skills. And so I went to the Brian Buffini training. I went to the 100 Days of Greatness. I became a certified trainer and I went out to San Diego and literally had business going right away because it's very simple. It's all SOI management, sphere of influence management, managing the people that you know, managing the people that are going to help you generate business, but then using all the tools. So back in 2008, there's a good way to make money running apartment listings on Craigslist. So I was doing that. I had a team. So I had somebody just doing that. And then we would do 5 or 6, 7 rentals per month, which was, good base of income, $5,000 a month. So we knew we had $5,000 coming in a month. Then it was, okay, how do we go out and get the listings? Well, the listings were hard to come by and they were hard to sell. So we had to prospect. And the way we prospected was through people that we knew, small business owners, which are going to be tough right now because of the pandemic. You can't go to the dry cleaners. You can't go to the pizza shop and have those conversations as much, but you can do it over the phone. You have way more access to people through social media today than you did in 2008. It was there, but it wasn't what it is today. So I think that there's a tremendous amount of opportunities technologically that will basically replace the face-to-face right now. Things like Zoom. We didn't have Zoom. So you can start to set up these appointments or even just social visits on Zoom. And one way you can do this is just by going through your database, whether you're using the business builder or you're using Constant Contact or you're using, we tried, there's things like text magic, and there was another one you can leave messages for people, slide dial, and you can reach out to all these people and kind of hit a nice sized group at once, which will cut down on the time it takes. And then say, hey, it's Jim D'Amico, and we haven't spoken for a while, and I wanted to tell you what was going on in the real estate business, and I'd love to sit down with you on a one-on-one Zoom meeting, one-on-one. You can do the group stuff, and you can do the big, hey, I'm doing an interview, I'm doing a training, and those are great. But people definitely value the one-on-one. So if you do have time to do one-on-one Zooms, even if you did, 2 a day, 2 15-minute Zooms a day to catch up with a client that, especially a repeat client, so a small business owner that buys and sells from you often or sends you leads often, that's a great way to do it. The other way to do it is with Buffini, you use personal notes. Today we have send out cards. And send out cards are awesome. Matter of fact, thank you, Rita, if you're on here. Rita sent me a card and Kristen sent me a card. And the send out cards are great because it's really easy to use and you don't have to touch anything. And right now, it's really difficult to get to a store to buy notes. It's difficult to get into the post office and buy stamps, and everything's a big line. And there's some technologies available right now that you can do everything right from your computer or your phone. And it's really simple. So I think that these are the things that we need to do.
Jim,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but so we're actually doing a Buffini now. We're about halfway through, so we will be starting another one. Cheap little plug here. Probably the second week in June, we'll be launching another Buffini program for anybody interested. But one of the big parts of Buffini is the pop buys, and we actually have agents in our Buffini class now that are doing pop buys still. They're just leaving them at the door and then talking through people through their windows, and people are loving it.
Yeah,
So,
no, I think that's great. I mean, that's especially now people are starting to get outside more. So
Yeah.
you can do the social visit with the social distancing and stay the 6 feet away and still have a conversation, which is great. But like Deb was talking this morning, she's on her way to get a listing, and people are still listing properties. Listings overall are down, but that doesn't mean that your listing count has to be down. If let's say there was 3,000 listings last year at this time, and you had 3. If you look back in 3,000 last year and you had 3, even if there's 1,000 this year, you can still have 3. I mean, so you could have 5, you could have 6. Your business can go up while the market is going down. There are ways to do that. The other question that I had to prep for today's meeting that I'm doing with C21 is, suggestions for brand new agents. I don't think there's a better time to be a brand new agent in the business, because it's like, right now we're kind of at a jump ball. So it's like the beginning of the game again. Everybody's got to kind of rethink how they do business. So top agents in this market, and we have a ton of top agents here, and I think all of them will agree that as a top agent, you've had to make changes to the way you do business, and you've had to do a lot of things on the fly to maintain the business that you had. And it isn't easy, but you're doing it. Well, there's a lot of top agents out there that don't know how to readjust the way they were doing their business, because maybe they weren't trained the right way, and maybe some of the stuff that they were doing for business is not going to come easy anymore. There's a lot of niche markets right now that are going to struggle. I think that I see people sending me, people from other companies sending me listings that they want to try and have bought, like, for flips, because there's not people out there just saying, yeah, I'll pay whatever for a house to flip right now, because there's questions, there's unknowns. And that's like where I think that, you've got a great opportunity as a newer agent to basically come out almost on a level playing field, because if you're hitting a database where you have people in your family or friends that have been working with experienced agents, now might be the time to wiggle in, because it's a good opportunity for that. Now might be the time to, to build your business through using the lead desk or OpCity or things like that. There's opportunity. So that's another plus that I see. And then, we all know that we can't wait for the quarantines to be lifted. We just have to keep going. You can't hesitate. You can't stop what you're doing. You just have to move at the pace you're allowed to move at and do as much as you can, given the circumstances. So I don't believe that there's going to be a switch flipped that we're going to be like, oh, okay, now we can go back to work. No, we should still be working. So that's really important, is to try and keep your business going. Listings for us, from a market share perspective, have actually increased. We're getting a bigger percentage of the overall market's listings. So the overall market is down, but I think the brand is helping us get more of it, because we're getting calls now. Matter of fact, there was a call yesterday, and we got a call from similar to one that happened in Malden with the office in Malden. They were looking for Century 21 in another city, but they were closed, and then we got that call. So these are the things that can definitely happen. I mean, we're getting so I sent out an email over the weekend. We're getting all kinds of calls and leads in Springfield because the Springfield office went out of business. So now all of that territory is wide open. We don't cover it, but we'd love to see if people want to take a ride out there and do business, because it's an opportunity. So these are the things that you'll start to see. Gary was telling me the other day that they had a Remax office in his town that just opened up, and they decided not to finish opening up and move out. So there's a couple agents that wanted to jump over. So these are the things that are going to start happening. So pay attention to what your marketplace is and who your competition is, and focus on you, but keep an eye out to see if anybody else is still operating at the same level they were operating at, because your competition should be, something that you are at least paying attention to a little bit, so that you can see if you're competing at a higher level. And okay, so those are the things. The virtual tour stuff. Rob, can we get out just a quick little note on how to get to that page? Because if you can get to that page and get your virtual tours and pull them off, you guys should be, drowning your social media with your listings if you have them, and give you the ability to keep pushing them out there in a different way, because not a lot of people have their videos up on social on their houses. And I think that this is a great way to get our videos up there on social. Really important.
I'll publish that today.
Okay, great. Please repeat the path to the listing. So you go into your 21 online, you click on the, hold on, I'll share my screen again really quick because someone's asking. And I think it's important to show it again. So you go to your 21 online, you click your menu button up here, you go down to Productivity Hub. That's going to bring you to all of your tools. And my author and that failed. That's not going to happen for you. That only happens for me. So you go, we'll try it again.
Jim, I'm just going to interrupt you there. People may run into some of those issues with websites, including 21 Online right now. Problem is, a lot of people are connecting to these systems. The systems are being overloaded. So you may have like a little glitch. Just, click it again and it'll pop right up. You're also running on lower bandwidth on the house. So
okay, and then this is all your tools that you have. The Century 21 University. They just rolled out a new global network. Business Builders right here. Your branded emails right here. Awards, Brand Studio. I like Maxa better for our branding stuff because it's a little tough to use, and the way we do it's a little bit better. But this gives you like all of your different tools, and on the bottom of the page on the left side is unique property sites, and that's where you're going to find your listings. So you just click on the link, and it's going to redirect you to your page. You're going to have your listings. I don't know, does everyone get the office listings, or is that just because, is that just me, Rob?
that's just us.
Okay, so you're going to, the listings that you have will be on here. It'll be, you just click on the, so if there's check marks, your website status and your video status, I don't know why there's a settings button here, but we can find that out. But then you just go to edit video. And when I say you're not actually editing the video, but you're going on there to see it, and then all your links are right below it. So you display this and also every listing has its own website. So this particular listing is 5 Whispering Pines Road 5.c21.com. So you can take this website and you can share the website as well. And I would do that with your sellers because I think it's important. And then the videos here, and they're all about a minute long. And there's voiceover and everything like that. So we actually have a company that's been setting these up for us. And we probably don't, this is probably just as good. Okay, everyone gets it? Okay, we are still going back and forth with the states on reopening plans. We're running into a couple of different situations where there's some lack of clarity from what is expected of businesses, and more specifically what's expected of our business on a reopen plan. And we're still working on that. We want to at least by the end of next week, at least have people have the ability to go in and get stuff if they need it, so printing or whatever. So we will have a set of guidelines that we will expect everyone to abide by, just so that we can keep the numbers of people in the office down. You know, we don't have the ability to clean up after you because we're not going to have somebody, you know, walking behind you. This isn't like, you know, my 21-year-old college son, whose mother follows him around cleaning up after him. This is, you know, we have to have you guys go in there with the right stuff just to make sure that y'all wiping down stuff before you use it and you're wiping it when you leave, just to make sure that everybody's kind of doing the same thing. And then we'll be able to get like some of the office's keys back in there, because we want to be able to have you be able to print. We want to be able to have you be allowed to at least get in and out if you need something. And so we're trying to figure that out now. There's a ton of stuff going on with reopening. So we definitely don't want to hit the news in a bad way. We want to make sure that we're prepared. There's a lot of people for this. There's a lot of people against it. We want to remain in the middle. If anyone's been watching anything on television, if anyone's watched Michael Jordan's The Last Dance, is anyone watching that on ESPN? Phenomenal. Anyway, they wanted him to take a position on something when he was playing basketball, and he said it was for like a Democrat, and he said Republicans buy sneakers too. That's why he won't do it. So that's why I always tell you, like, don't take a side, because you know, whatever side you're on, the other side buys houses too. So you want to make sure that, you know, we're not taking a radical move on anything, and we want to make sure that we're being respectful of everybody's feelings during the pandemic, so that we're not, you know, causing us to, you know, get in the middle of something we don't need to be in the middle of. What we want to do is sell houses and help people get into new houses. That's our job, and so that's what we're planning on doing. But we should have some plans. I thought we would have them by today, and we have some, but we're still waiting on a couple of the states. I know Maine was going to be open and everything was going to be great, but now there's a problem up there that Gary's working on, and we're trying to figure that out. And Massachusetts, as you know, was still locked down until May 18th. But there's still tons of stuff that we can do virtually that I think, and literally, you know, listing houses and stuff that I think we can continue to do. We have had some luck with expired listings recently. So I always say, you know, the expired listings. I mean, what else are you doing? I think that if you've got expired listings in your marketplace, you should at least reach out. I don't think it can hurt. We're also seeing that a lot of people, if you know, it's a good time to maybe do your farming and your mailings. If you can get that done effectively right now, that's a good idea to do. And then, you know, basically your phone calls, anybody that you thought might have been interested in selling before or you want to touch base with, I think now's the time. But everyone's, you guys are really out there. I mean, we are really unitedly strong in Facebook and social media or Instagram. I think that the messaging that everyone here is delivering is actually helping everyone. So when, when Joe Zingales posts a new listing and people start sharing it, and when the company posts something and everyone shares it, and people are really commenting and liking all of each other's stuff, I think that it boosts awareness of the brand and of you guys as top realtors and top real estate professionals in the marketplace. I think that goes a huge way, because most other companies don't support each other like we do. So that's something that's really great, and that's something that's special and unique to this company. If you look at, I've been studying the numbers, and the companies that really stick together like a solid group, they're not doing as poorly as the ones that are strictly transactional, like the pay for your desk type models, and the multi-level models. And I'm seeing bigger declines there and more people interested in coming, being part of something like what we have. So that's great too. Teamwork makes the dream work. Thanks, Joe. All right, does anyone have any questions about what we have going on? We'll do another one of these on Thursday. Have I missed anything? I know there's a bunch of stuff I wanted to cover. I don't know if I got it all, but anyone have any?
I had a couple of comments from just
Sure.
what I've been going through. If you want me to share them, I will. But
Sure.
so one is, we mentioned the sphere of influence. I think our sphere of influence has dramatically changed because of COVID-19. So, for example, I live in the town of Windham, New Hampshire. I've been literally targeting, and I mean no disrespect, but people that have been in their homes for a long time, and just basically saying, "Hey, neighbor, how the heck you doing? This is Bill." And they go, "Bill, my neighbor, yeah, I'm the guy that lives 4 streets over." Okay? So like I'm right around the corner, and then we immediately get into a neighborly kind of friendly chat. And then the next question, of course, what I'm asking, okay, is have you thought about, sell it? I know you've been there for a while. And with that strategy, I've had 5 appointments, okay? And that's really become my new sphere of influence, is really just the community that I live in, and approaching it more from a neighborly kind of pitch, for lack of a better term, than, this is just Bill Rainey from, Century Northeast. And people have been very receptive to that, especially with being stuck in and all of that stuff. So that's one thing I wanted to
Well, if you go back to, Bill, like 1990s, early 1990s, the whole concept of getting business was the Dear Neighbor letter, which was, a little bit more about being a realtor than really finding out about them. But it was like the icebreaker, and it was always Dear Neighbor. And I think that's a huge approach when any neighborhood that you're living in, that everyone knows that you're the realtor. I talked about this about a month ago. I moved into a new place, and I saw 2 listings come on the market, and I was like, geez, I should have got out my Dear Neighbor letter, because I didn't do it. So that's important, if wherever you live, that everyone in the neighborhood knows that you're a real estate person, because that's that speaks volumes. That's priceless. That's easy marketing to go out as a neighbor. So that's a good point. You have another point.
And then also what I wanted to bring up is, gosh, and I know Jim and I talk about this, but, hate to see a great pandemic go to waste, right? And so, Massachusetts, and this is really, sad news, but there is really great opportunity in these numbers, right? And so we do know that people sell homes when their loved ones pass away, right? And so we've had 4,000 deaths due to COVID in Mass. We've had 2,500 in New Hampshire. I think 1,250, Gary would know better than me, in Maine, and I think only like 400 in Rhode Island. But there's been 8,000 unfortunate deaths in our territory, okay, where family members right now are just trying to figure out, what do we now do with mom's home? What do we now do with dad's home?
The challenge with that is going to be, and the challenge with that is, first of all, probably now is not the time to approach it, but the courts are closed. And so anything that's one of the biggest things that people work with is one of the biggest sales I've ever, one of my biggest lead sources has always been probate, estate type stuff. And that's because I'm Italian, and Italians are typically big families, and, they're older, and, always somebody has to sell a house. But a lot of that stuff is probably not really well timed right now because of the situation. But I do think that if you have attorneys that you work with, or if there's attorneys that you may want to reach out to your attorneys that do that type of work, because I know that they control, a lot of times they're kind of like the person who controls who's working the disposal of assets. But there's they actually sell, Banker and Tradesman just came out with a product that's basically a list. They call it a pre-probate list, but it's basically like an obituary list. They just ran a marketing thing on it and sent it out to a bunch of people, and we didn't buy it. We thought it was too soon in the process, and maybe not a good, we don't want to be chasing that too quickly, because people need time to kind of iron out details and get through emotions. So I would definitely say that if you follow the probate filings in the court records, that's always something it's a good thing to do. They have them for probate, they have them for divorce, they have them for pre-foreclosure. And we have the pricing on all those lists if anyone's interested, because they sell them by county. And I think they run about $1,000 a year per county. So, and those are always good to go after with letters and stuff like that, but usually to the attorneys.
Hey, Jim.
Yes.
Okay, so since the beginning of my real estate career, I've always done free stuff because that's what I think of, free marketing. The best part of the news is the end of the news when they show something good that's happened. I just wait for the end of it. So I've been reaching out, and please, anyone in my area, no copying me, to the groups I belong to. And I've been asking, do you have a senior that's graduating? And if so, can you message me? And I've received so many messages because these seniors are not having a graduation either through college or high school. So if they have a senior and they're willing to give me their address, I'm making signs and cards and dropping them off and saying, congratulations, because I feel like maybe in 4 or 5 years when they buy a house, they're going to remember this real estate agent.
Well, they're going to remember,
Giving
So
them,
Diane,
yeah.
do you know the program that we're running right now? The seniors program?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we're highlighting a senior every single day of the week, every weekday, because that's when we have people that can do the work. And we're sending them a $50 Amazon gift card with a graduation card, congratulating them for, graduating. And we're sending them $50, and we're doing this every day. And we've already given out, I think, 10 or 12 gift cards. We have over 200 kids, or over 160 kids right now registered for the program. And it's something I think we're going to continue to do for quite a while. We actually have an ad that goes on Channel 7, and it basically says, if you have a high school senior, please visit our Facebook page and register. And we've gone into all of our towns. So there's a post that we have on our page that you can post inside the town groups. And I posted it in several groups, and we've been, what you're doing is awesome. Piggyback it on what the company's doing too, because they'll remember you, but it's really hard to get someone to remember you 5 years later without constant contact. Have them remember you, and then have them remember the brand, because this is why so many people know the brand. Young kids know Century 21. Century 21 is probably one of the most recognized brands to millennials than any other brand, because that's what their parents used. So let's be the brand for the next generation as well. I love the approach, and I love the fact that that's what we're doing as well, because you're right. People are losing the ability to celebrate rituals. especially big ones like graduating high school, college, and things like that. So that's
Baby
awesome.
showers too, baby showers.
Yeah, I mean everything's on hold. So even when this is over, I still think that this is going to be something with the seniors that I think we may continue to do for a year. Because if you think about it, if we're just doing it on weekdays, it's basically like making a donation of $1,000 a month, which isn't, for a company our size is reasonable. But we're celebrating the success of the future of the country, and I think that it's something that we can really make an impact, because everybody has their niche charities. For Century 21 Corporate, it's Easter Seals. Easter Seals has issues, as far as I'm concerned, with the way they're run as an organization. But this is something we can go direct to people with, and I think I think if you can do that and others do some of that the same, like one of the things you see on the news is the teachers that go out of their way to go see their kids at their houses. I know one of my daughters is in the first grade, and her teacher came to the house and she was able to wave outside and stuff like that. That makes a difference. Those are the stories that are hitting the news. It's the front lines and that type of thing. So absolutely fantastic.
I think the only thing I want to circle back on, Jim, is the video and the opportunities right now for video, meaning like the low cost. And what we're seeing, if you know, I don't know if you've seen any of our listings. Fortunately, I think they're all under agreement. But every one of them right now has one of those 3D dollhouse Matterports, because the mortgage companies, and we don't even really do business with these guys or girls, but are now buying Matterport cameras and saying, hey, can we do a 3D dollhouse video for you for free? And we're developing relationships with people that we never would have had in the past, just because they've been innovative and said, hey, can I do a 3D dollhouse video for free? And Deb's got them on every single listing that we're doing. And with video becoming so important today, I think the more video, the better. And I don't
those
know
videos, those Matterport videos they're outstanding. They're really they're great. They're great videos, and I think if people stopped doing them about 6 to 8 months ago because the houses weren't on the market long enough to do them. But I think that now there's definitely some benefit to them. But keep in mind, if you don't have the time or you don't have the access to it, the videos on 21 Online are already done for you, so you can upload them into your MLS. It's going to give you that access, and if it seems like right now properties are flying off the market anyway. As soon as we list something, it's pretty much going under agreement. So the challenge is, it used to be this way in the past, where the challenge was once you had the under agreement, the challenge was keeping the deal together, and that seems to be the case nowadays, is keeping these deals together. We've had more interaction with trying to keep deals together in this market than I think we've had in recent past, because of appraisal issues, inspection issues, and things like that. So I think that's going to probably continue for a little bit, but those videos, if you can, those are phenomenal.
I just want to add to it that, there's so many free stuff out there right now for, people, whether they're drone guys or girls or Matterport guys or girls. I think the biggest benefit for us has not just really been the marketing part, because they are selling quickly, but the sellers love it. So even if we have a struggle in a deal, and like you said, half of what we have happening right now is a struggle, and it feels like every day something else blows apart. But that seller knows we've done everything possible to put their house in the best position possible to market it. And none of them, like in the past, if something fell apart, they'd be mad at us a little bit. But none of them have blamed us or been mad at us for anything, because I think perception is reality, and the perception with all this 3 different types of videos, including the companies, which is 4, right, has definitely reminded the seller, we're doing everything possible we can for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Who else? Anybody else? Richie, what do you got for trainings this week? Get a Con Ed this week?
Yes, Jim, we got one for Thursday. I'm still trying to go over the topic. I've been kind of busy with, actually, been busy with a lot of showings this past weekend. So I'll have an email out to everybody tomorrow with the topic, but Thursday at 11 was still on.
Okay, great. Thursday at 11, and then I'll do my meeting Thursday at 10. I'll send that out. Usually I send it out the night before, and I don't know, getting closer and closer to, this is going to pass. So, I mean, once we get a little bit closer to the end here, I think that, we can all congratulate ourselves on really doing a good job through all this. And we found some ways to serve all of our clients and all of you guys better that we'll implement, when this is over and continue to do. I think these meetings will be continued, throughout now, at least once a week after this is all over, to just kind of get a whole group together and huddle and talk about things that we can idea share and grow with. I mean, there's been so much, trying to think of the word. It's not really like, I guess, streamlining. Like a lot of stuff has been streamlined. We found a lot of, opportunities to, like we just find homes and estates. We just did a full rundown on how that program is now working, and that's all on 21 Online. I wanted to understand because they've changed some things with the Fine Homes and Estates and the logos. There's also a tremendous amount of commercial opportunities right now in the commercial markets because you have a lot of landlords that just basically saw their values as high as they've ever seen them in the past year. And now they're nervous because they don't want to miss out. They had been sitting and, we've gotten a lot of calls from people like that. You're going to have challenges with some properties that aren't going to, cap rates are going to be off. Bruce, you probably have seen this, right? So if they're, the rent collections changing, the way that people are paying rents right now is changing. So cap rates are going to be challenged for a little while. So I think that there's some people with some real questions there. There's a lot of opportunity out there. And it just, it really comes down to spending that one-on-one time with people.
Just one final question for me, Jim. So obviously, you sent us, we all went out, not all, but a bunch of us went out to the C21 event this year in Los Angeles, where they touted that new abandonment campaign, that was supposed to launch March 1st all over the place. And you would think if there was ever a better time to be on television, it would be now. And I'm just wondering, why did they pretty much abandon the television campaign, during such a great time to be on TV?
I don't know. And I don't know if I honestly don't know the answer because I don't know if they've abandoned it. And if they have, I don't know why, but I could certainly ask. I know that they had some really good commercials and I don't know what happened. I don't know what channels they were buying in the first place, but if they were buying like ESPN, I would imagine that they probably said, let's hold off because there's no sports. But they don't advertise locally, they advertise nationally. So they would have to find, wherever that channel is, HGTV or something like that. But I actually have a meeting with marketing tomorrow, so I will ask them.
Yeah, so basically they announced in February that they had made a deal with Disney, who owns ESPN, to basically be on their entire suite of products, which was Good Morning America, HGTV, all of that stuff. And so I'm sure a lot of those other channels are alive and well.
I'll ask Kara tomorrow. Okay. Anyone else? All right. Busy day today. Lots of classes, lots of meetings. Hopefully you have a great day. And if you need anything, reach out to us. Thank you.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.